record to this computer just to be extra safe. You are going to get a recording of this. Just give me about an hour or two after the call is done, just so I can download it from Zoom, upload it into YouTube, and then I'll shoot it to you guys via email. So you can always rewatch it after the fact. It's going to be available on YouTube ongoing. So if you find that this is a lot or you want to revisit something in the future, you can always rewatch it. So you will get that after. And then the final thing is just, this is an advanced training, okay? So if you are on this call and you have not done your onboarding with Nick quite yet, make sure you do that, okay? So where you found the advanced training when you logged into your account, and there's that little red button on the bottom left-hand corner that said join weekly training, where you signed up for this training, make sure that you also sign up for your onboarding. So you're level 1, this is level 2. It's okay. You're still going to get a ton of value from this call. It just might feel a little overwhelming if you haven't set up your profile quite yet. Okay. So Nick is going to help you get your profile set up, your persona and brand questions, your colors, your headshots, logos, all that good stuff. Once you have a couple generations under your belt, then you join an advanced training, you're going to be like, oh, this all makes sense. So if you haven't done that quite yet and you're feeling like, what the heck is going on right now? Just know that this is an advanced training. We're not going to be going over any of that profile setup stuff. So we're jumping right into the advanced side of things. So just make sure that you do sign up for your onboarding with Nick if you haven't already, okay? Because we're not going to touch on any of the level 1 stuff today. And I think with that said, we are good to go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, so you guys should see my screen now. And I'm going to minimize my head so I don't see it while I'm presenting. Okay, beautiful. Here we go. Okay, so when you log into your account, you are going to see your content calendar. So depending on where you are in your journey, you either have content in your calendar like I do here, or you might have a completely blank calendar, okay? We're gonna start from the very beginning with generating content all the way through to editing it and scheduling it. So if you are landing on the content calendar, you're going to see this topic bar right up here that asks, what would you like your content to focus on this week? Okay. So within this topic bar, you can type in whatever you would like. So anything that you want to create posts about, you can go ahead and type it in. You don't have to worry about it being spelled correctly, grammatically correct, any of that stuff. Don't worry. AI is going to clean all that up for you. So it's not like you have to have this perfectly written topic in there. You can quite literally have spelling mistakes and it'll figure it out. If you don't know what you want to talk about, you can click into this button right here, suggest topic. And what that is going to do is that is going to take the persona and brand answers that you have answered and filled out. And it's going to give you some topic ideas that are real estate related, but that also relate to your niche, the area you service, your clients, all that good stuff. So my profile is set up under Austin, Texas. So as you can see, mine is obviously suggesting topics in Austin. So things like how to make an offer on a house in Austin, a guide to best Austin neighborhoods for young families, the steps to getting pre-approved for a mortgage in Austin, what every first-time buyer should know during a home tour, etc. So good real estate related topics, okay? You can very easily just click into one of those and it's going to go ahead and generate content for you. Now, that being said, for this part right here, my biggest suggestion for our users is to try and just challenge yourself to come up with your own topics, maybe once or twice a month or once or twice a week. You don't have to do it every single time, but here in this topic field, you can type in quite literally anything you want. So anything you are having conversations with your clients about every single day, you can put into that topic bar, and nobody knows your clients better than you do, okay? And a lot of the time, real estate is interesting to post about, but you guys know the sorts of interesting conversations you're having with your clients. And most of the time, it's stuff like, hey, I have a dog. Where are some, neighborhoods that are close to dog parks? Or we have a really active family. We love to hike. What are some neighborhoods that are close to trails? Or, I am a young professional. Where are the young professionals living lately? That's where I want to be. I want to be where the cool coffee shops are and where the cool restaurants are. Stuff like that is the stuff that, you're already having those conversations with your clients every single day, you can very easily come in here and click why downtown Austin is perfect for young professionals. Generate. You know that better than anyone. You don't have to spell it correctly. You don't have to be, perfectly grammatically correct. You don't have to be an English teacher. You just type it right in there, click generate. It's going to create content about the conversations that you're already having. Okay. So I just challenge you, start a couple times a month, see if you can do it. I promise you it's way easier than you think it is. You are then going to click into generate. Okay. And on the right-hand side, you guys are going to see this bar open up with a bunch of different generation options. The first is going to ask you, what days would you like to generate content for? Okay. And it's going to allow you to generate content for 7 days. And the reason why it allows you to generate content for 7 days is because AI is going to do a really amazing job of giving you a bunch of topics or a bunch of posts about your topic. So my topic in here is a guide to the best Austin neighborhoods for young families. It's going to do a really great job of giving me a bunch of variety about that topic. However, you don't want to talk about that topic for 30 days straight. You can only talk about that topic so many times until it starts to sound repetitive. So for that reason, with any given generation, you can do 7 days at a time. You can generate up to 2 months worth. You can schedule up to 2 months worth, but for any given generation about one topic, you can do 7 days. Okay. And my biggest suggestion for this one here is, instead of doing 7 days in a row, which a lot of people do, don't do that. Okay. Do 7 Fridays, for an example. Okay. Or even every other Friday is even better. Try to just split apart your content so that you are hitting those young families who are looking for homes. You are hitting them maybe every other Friday or every Friday. You're not hitting them for 7 days straight. You want to talk about something else on Thursdays, something else on Wednesdays, etc. So try to just split up your content as much as possible. Okay. So 7 days, maybe 7 Fridays or every other Friday, not 7 days in a row. And definitely don't go back and generate 30 days straight of the same topic. Switch it up. The next thing you are going to do is you're going to choose what type of content you would like to create. Okay. So it's going to allow you to choose, do you want to create a carousel post, a static post, or a reel? Okay. You can choose from one of those 3, keeping in mind that no matter what you choose here, you are going to be able to change it. Okay. So we're going to go through the generation process, then we're going to go through the editing process. And I'm going to show you that if you choose a carousel upon generation, you can still change it over to a reel. You can still change it over to a static post. It doesn't mean that what you choose here, you are stuck with. You can edit absolutely every aspect of your post after it's been generated and created. This is just going to make it a little bit easier for you upon generation. If, let's say, every Wednesday you want to generate reels, or every Friday you want to do carousels, this will just make it easier and just kind of fast track you to the exact type of post that you want. So you'll choose it here. Now, what is a carousel post, a static post, and a reel? I'm just going to come out of this generation bar really quick just to show you guys examples of each of those. Okay. So a carousel post is a post that looks like this. It has multiple slides within a carousel, and each of these slides has a different piece of text on top of it. It's kind of like an informational style swipe through post. So as your viewer is looking at your post, they can kind of swipe, swipe, swipe and learn about whatever your topic is about. So I believe this one was open houses, how to taking your kids to open houses. So as they kind of swipe through, they're going to learn all the different steps, and all the copy on this generated carousel on each slide is going to match the caption that was generated for that post. Okay. So a carousel post looks like this. A static post is one image, okay? So just one image, not multiples, and it has a hook on top of it. So it's saying it's going to have something on there that kind of draws your reader in. So here we have, most parents make this huge mistake at open houses. And then that kind of prompts that person to read your caption to see, oh, okay, what mistake do parents make during open houses? So this is just one image with a nice hook, nothing to swipe through, but it kind of grabs your reader. Okay. Things to keep in mind here are that when you go through the generation process, you are going to find that if you choose a carousel for Facebook, it's always going to default to this static image, okay? The reason being is because Facebook doesn't actually support swipe through carousels. It drops them more of like a photo album dump. And then it doesn't look very aesthetically pleasing. So we started it off with the carousels. We were finding that the feedback just wasn't great. It's not looking great. So for that reason, you will find that your Facebook posts are going to default to a static if you choose carousel. Now, that being said, you can always change that. Like if you want a carousel, you can totally change that. If you're posting a listing post, it'll be different, all that good stuff. It's just we want to make sure that when this lands on your Facebook business page, it lands very nice and clean and not jumbled up. So you are going to see it like this as a default. If you're wondering where are the rest of my slides, it's very intentional. You can see the little message just right down below. It's very intentionally created like that. Facebook is also a little side note. We believe that Facebook might be working on this. We don't know for sure, but we're keeping an eye on it. We believe that Facebook might actually be trying to incorporate carousels just from what we've seen on our own Facebook business page. They're a little funky right now, so we're keeping an eye on that. If they do end up launching the ability to view carousels in a nice, aesthetically pleasing way, we'll totally swap this back to carousels. But until then, just know that it's something that's on our radar. And then the last type of post you can choose is a reel. So we do have a library of aesthetic B-roll style reels / videos. They are short, kind of looping clips that when you hit play, so there's going to be a little hook on top of them, same as a static image. So this one says, think you found your dream home. Spot these deal breakers first, read the caption. I'm going to turn this volume off so that it's not loud for you guys in your ears. You hit play. It kind of gives you a little quick aesthetic B-roll video, a little clip. And as your reader is reading the caption, this video is playing. So this one's a 5-second video. It's playing over and over and over again. It's looping, and every time it plays, it counts as a view. So it's a good way to sprinkle in video content throughout your posts, but without having to, record it yourself. Or all that good stuff. So we're going to get deeper into editing and videos and all that good stuff. But these are your 3 different kinds of posts. Okay. So when you're in the generation process, this is what it's referring to when it's talking about carousel, static versus reel. Okay. So we're going to pick our days and we're going to keep carousel. That's the most common one. Of course, you can also choose your persona in here. So if you do have more than one persona under your profile, you can go ahead and choose which persona you want it to take on. So maybe you also focus on agent and team recruitment and you want it to kind of take on that persona as it's creating the content. You can swipe through your different personas. Most agents, most users are going to have just one default persona, and they're probably going to use the default persona more often than not. So we'll leave it at default persona. And then you can go ahead and choose which platforms you want to post on. Okay. So here you can see you can choose Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, LinkedIn, or a blog. So things to keep in mind here. Okay. You are going to see blogs as an option. So you can generate blogs along with your social media posts. When it comes to blogs, depending on what platform you're using, whether it's WordPress or Squarespace or Luxury Presence or anything like that, when you generate a blog, you can just go ahead and click copy blog, and then you're going to paste it into whatever blog hosting or website hosting platform you are using. Okay. So it does integrate. If you are using Go High Level and you're already using Go High Level, that's your choice for blog publishing / hosting. You're already a user of that. You're going to be able to integrate and schedule your blog to post directly. That is our first integration that we have. That just so happened to be the one that we had the most demand for. So we started with that. But that being said, if you are not using Go High Level, if you're using something else, you can still generate a blog through here. You just simply click the copy blog button and then paste it into whatever blog hosting platform you are using. You do not have to sign up for Go High Level if you're not using it. If your website is hosted on WordPress or Squarespace, for an example, you don't have to now sign up for Go High Level. This is just something that's a little addition for Go High Level users. And then just something to keep in mind is that we continue to launch new integrations as we get demand for them. So you will see more integrations in the future. It just so happens to start with Go High Level. TikTok as well. So if you have gone through the integration process and you have connected to TikTok, you will see that it's not in the generation flow here. Reason being is because TikTok performs really, really well with like talking face, very personal videos. Okay. TikTok's algorithm is you have to put out some really, really intentional content on there for it to go viral. You are competing with some serious content creators on there. So for that reason, right now we've decided to omit TikTok from the generation flow. That being said, you can still very easily schedule your own videos to post to TikTok using the content calendar, which we'll go over together. You can also repurpose the aesthetic B-roll videos to post to TikTok if you want to. You can still post to TikTok. It's just we want to keep it out of the generation flow for now, just because it's not going to perform really well with like informational style videos the way that we do. You're competing with like kids who quite literally like their full-time job is creating TikTok content. So TikTok's algorithm is very, very picky. And it doesn't favor agents that much unless you're like a celebrity realtor. So we're trying to figure out how we want to bring in TikTok. We might bring it into the generation flow in the future, but for now it's not there. So if you're wondering, hey, why is TikTok not in there? That's just the reason. And then if you're also watching this and you're like, oh my God, should I be on TikTok? Do not stress about it. Truly, if you are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whichever ones you're the most comfortable with, you do not now need to create a TikTok. If you're not already on TikTok, you don't need to create one. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to select the platforms you want to generate content for, and then you're going to scroll down to click generate content. As you guys can see, there's a bar here for advanced settings. We're not actually going to click into this bar right now. We're going to ignore this for now. We're going to return back to this at the very end because these advanced settings are going to make a lot more sense once we've gone through the rest of the features in depth, and then you will understand the advanced settings a lot better, okay? So we're going to ignore this advanced settings for now. We'll come back to it. When you're ready to generate, you go ahead, you click generate content, and then it's going to generate content. So you guys know if you've gone through the generation process, it comes in, the content shimmers. I already went ahead, I generated some content for us to play around with. But you guys know when it's in the generation process, it's coming in, it's got these little shimmering tiles. And then once they have successfully generated, you're going to see them land like this. So every post, once it lands, they're all color coded. So at a glance here on the 16th, you can see we've got Instagram in pink, Facebook in blue, LinkedIn in teal, X / Twitter in black or gray. And then if I had a blog here, it would be in yellow. Okay, so they're all color coded. And you can also see in the bottom left-hand corner that they have the logo for each of the different social platforms. So you can see at a glance which platform it is, okay? You can also see that when you generate, your posts are going to come in at an unscheduled status. So see this status here that's in red, it's unscheduled. Every post lands in an unscheduled status. So you don't have to worry about anything going out without you approving it. Don't worry, you're not, generating things and then you walk away from it because you get sidetracked with the million other things you have to do. And then you come back and you're like, oh my gosh, did all of that go out? I didn't get a chance to take a look at it. Don't worry, everything always lands in an unscheduled status. So when you click into your post, you're going to see status up here. This is unscheduled. Nothing's going to go out until I give it the A-OK to go out. So you're good to go. You're also going to see the platforms on the top left. So this is our Instagram post here. As we scroll down, this is our Facebook post. This is our LinkedIn post, and this is our Twitter post. The other thing you're going to notice is here in the middle, when you look at the captions, each caption, we're going to be talking about the same topic because it was within one generation, but every caption is written a little different. So they're all optimized for each individual platform. So you're going to find that Instagram is a little bit shorter, a little bit more conversational, more emojis, whereas Facebook is longer, more informational. Your LinkedIn is going to be shorter, but more professional sounding. And then of course, your Twitter / X is going to be a tweet. So it's going to be nice and short and condensed. You're also going to find that Twitter always does 4 images or less because that's what the platform allows for. And again, keep in mind that Facebook is always going to be that one static image, okay? So as you take a look through, you're going to see that it's created you 4 different posts for any given day, okay? the first thing you're going to do when you take a look at all of this is you are going to check out your caption, okay? So before you go in to edit your design, before you check out these more features on the right-hand side, the first thing I want you to do is to take a quick look at the caption. It's in the middle. You take a quick once over. Maybe you're happy with it. You're like, okay, cool. I'm good to go. No changes needed. You're good. But let's say you want to make some changes to that caption. You're going to click into edit caption down below, and you can go ahead and manually make any changes you would like, okay? So you can go ahead and let's say you want to delete an emoji or change the call to action at the end. You can go ahead and make any changes you would like just by simply clicking into edit caption and make the changes. The other thing you can do is, let's say you're taking a look at this caption, you're like, ooh, okay, you know what? Let's regenerate this caption altogether. You can click into regenerate this caption, and then you have a bunch of different options down here, okay? So let's say you just want to make it shorter. You can go ahead and click to make it shorter. You can choose to make it more personal or less personal. So depending on those answers that you put into your persona and brand when you were setting up your profile, let's say you want it to pull more of that. You want it to reference you specifically in your bio more. You're going to click more. You're going to click to make it more personal. Or let's say you're like, you know what? I don't want it to mention me or what I do at all. I just want it to be less personal. You can go ahead, you can click into less personal. What that's going to do is that's going to regenerate that caption for you, but it's not going to reference you or your niche or any of that at all. It's going to be way less personal. Or you can ask the AI to do something special. So let's say you're like, you know what? I actually want you to regenerate this, but with no emojis. Or I want you to focus a little bit more on this or a little bit less on this, or avoid these words or use more of these words. You can totally tell it to do something very specific, like make this, 5 sentences or less. And then when you're happy, you just go ahead, click regenerate. It's going to regenerate that entire caption for you. Now, the reason why I always suggest you take a look at the caption first is because your caption is going to match your design. So if you go ahead and regenerate the caption, it's actually going to go ahead and regenerate all the slide copy to match your new caption. So you don't want to go into edit the design and you're now making changes to the copy and you're, this wording and that wording, and then you go ahead after and regenerate the caption. Well, that's going to regenerate all the copy work that you just did, and you're going to have to start from scratch. So always make sure you are checking out your caption first. You're happy with it. Fantastic. Good to go. Okay. Now, let's say you're happy with the caption. You're happy with the design. We did a carousel post. So we're happy with the design. We're happy with these slides. You can go ahead and schedule it. So down here, you can see schedule and approve. Click yes. What that's going to do is that's going to take that post. It's going to change it from an unscheduled status to a scheduled status. You can see now that it's changed to a green post and it's scheduled. Once a post is scheduled, you cannot make any further changes to it. It is scheduled to go out on this day and this time. So if you want to make any changes to it, you need to, 1, make sure that you unschedule it first, okay? And 2, make sure that the post hasn't gone out yet. So you have to make those changes before it goes out. Once that post is published on your socials, it is now out in the world. Making changes to it here is not going to go to your social platforms and make changes there. You guys are going to have to go into the actual platform and make the change on it directly. So you have to log into your Instagram, make the change, whatever. So just make sure you make those changes before the post goes out, okay? Once it goes out, it's out, and you can't change it from the RealEstateContent.ai calendar, okay? Next thing you are going to do after you have checked out your caption, let's say you want to make some design changes, okay? We're going to ignore this right side right here where it says more features. We're going to come back to that at the very end. First, we're going to check out the design, okay? So let's say you want to make some changes to this design. You're going to go ahead and you're going to click edit design. And what this is going to do is this is going to open up the editor for you, okay? So you're going to see all of the individual slides down here that you can click through. You can change the copy. Think once you get into the editor, you can change pretty much everything about your post. The colors, the fonts, the copy, the images, the shapes, your headshot, your logo, your contact information, absolutely everything can be changed within the editor, okay? So down at the bottom, you're going to see each individual slide down here with a little trash can on the top right-hand corner. So let's say you want to delete a slide altogether. You can very easily do that by just clicking into the trash can, click yes, you're removing a slide altogether. Or if you want to rearrange any of the slides, you just simply drag and drop them, move them into a different location. So you can do that. The next thing you can do is you can actually edit the copy on the slide. So let's say you want to make some changes to the copy. You just simply click into the text box. It'll open up a editable text box, and then you can go ahead and you can make copy changes to it. You can add, delete things, whatever you want. You're also going to see a text box up here come up, which will allow you to change the font. So let's say you want to change the font to something else. It'll allow you to change the size of the font, the color, uppercase everything if you want to. You can bold, italicize, underline, change the alignment, all that good stuff. So you can go in and change any of the copy. Feel free to change, okay? You can also move things around. So every individual element is movable. Just click into it, drag, move it around, stretch it, collapse it, whatever you want to do. You can totally edit every individual element on the post, okay? So those are some things to keep in mind. The next are your templates. So let's say you're taking a quick look at this and you're like, okay, cool. You know what? I want a different template. I'm thinking something else. This kind of arc in the corner. I did an arc a couple of days ago, and I think that I would rather introduce some other shapes onto my platform, or onto my feed. Let's say I kind of want to do some more like triangular or something else. Okay. You are going to notice that it always lands on your templates here. Okay. And you're going to see suggested templates. So suggested templates are the templates that come within the editor. They are really, really good starting points for you, okay? They're all just like nice, very minimalistic, nicely like intentionally designed templates that you can kind of click through and use as a starting point. So as you scroll down, you're going to see there are a bunch to choose from. One really cool thing that I suggest everybody does is see up here in the red where it says quick controls. You guys are going to want to open those up, okay? And what that does is that has taken my color palette, which my color palette in here is orange and yellow, and it's given me a variety of my color palette. So as you scroll through, you're going to see there's a bunch of different varieties of my color palette. And when you click into it, it's going to apply your color palette to all of these suggested templates down here. So as you scroll down, you can see exactly what that post is going to look like if you choose that color palette. So let's say I choose this one. I know that this is what my post is going to look like, okay? Or this is what my post is going to look like for this one, or this one right here. You can kind of scroll through and get a better idea of exactly what your design is going to look like. So I think I'm going to choose this one here. Perfect. And now I'm like, okay, I'm happy with this. This is kind of a good starting point for me. You can also do this with the quick fonts. So let's say there's a very specific font that you like to use, a specific header font or specific subtext font. You can very easily go ahead and choose that right through here. So let's say you really like literature and literature. And what that does is that's taken your fonts and it has added them to all of those templates. And then you can see at a glance exactly what it's going to look like with your fonts on it. Okay. So let's say you are happy with that template. That's the one you want to go for. Actually, right before I move on, if you do want, so we're working within a carousel right now. I mentioned that you could switch to a reel at any point. So when you are under the templates, see how I'm in the image templates? You can also click into the reel templates, and that's going to give you a bunch of different reels to choose from, okay, with your color palette. So let's say, you want to do, I don't know, maybe this one. So cool. Now you've got a nice reel. You can click into reels on the left-hand side here and choose from one of the many reels we have. And what that's going to do is that's just going to flip that video into there. You now have a little hook. You go ahead, you save and exit, and you now have a reel to post. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I do want to continue working with a carousel. So we're going to go back to the carousel. We're in templates. Awesome. We've chosen our template. And now we're like, okay, what are we doing next? Now, the next thing you can do is you can also play around with your images. So let's say you want to change the background image of this template, okay? When you click into images, you're going to have a ton of images to choose from in here, okay? So as you scroll down, I think we're at like maybe almost 18,000 images in here now. So there are tons of images to choose from. Everything from like interiors to exteriors to warmer climates, colder climates. We're talking there's people in there, there's activities, there's restaurants, there's commercial spaces, there's, just everything you could possibly imagine is in here, okay? So as you scroll down, you can go ahead, you can choose an image that best suits either the location that you service, your post, or maybe the vibe of your social media. So maybe your social media is a little more bright and airy, or it's a little bit darker and moodier, more modern. Whatever kind of fits your style, you can find it in here, okay? So let's say you want to swap out the image for all of your slides. You could click into these three dots, okay? And you can go set all backgrounds. And what that does is that takes that image and puts that image into the background of every single one of your slides. Okay. So super easy to just swap that image to a different image. You can have it just be one image if you would like, or if you want each individual slide to have a different image, you just click into the slide that you are working on, go into the image that you would like and just go set as background. And now I've swapped that background to a different one, but it's still very cohesive. And what you're going to notice as you go through the photo album or the image library is that we have made it so that as you're scrolling through, the images are kind of grouped into like-minded images. So if there is, maybe you're downtown Toronto, for an example, and you're like, oh, this is great, I want to use these images. These are all different images, but they're all really nice and intentional and cohesive. So if you do want to have each slide have a different image in the background, it still looks very intentional. It looks like you spent a ton of time curating all these images when really all you had to do is just click into the one that you want and swap into the background, okay? Entirely up to you whether you want the images to be the same or maybe alternate, or each different one be different, or maybe the first one and the last one are different and the ones in the middle are the same. Totally, totally up to you how you want to do it, okay? So you can do it right through the three dots and then setting as a background. Or if you want to kind of use an image as an additional element, maybe you're creating like a cool collage or you really want to get creative, you just simply click into the image. It's going to turn it into a sticker like this that you can move around your design. You can, rotate it. You can squish it. You can change the transparency on it up here. You can really get creative with it, okay? Now, my biggest suggestion here for images is you guys are going to see that there's these little hearts on the top left-hand corner of every image, okay? Every single image within the editor has one of these hearts. And what happens is as you scroll down and you find an image that matches either the location that you service or your social media, your kind of vibe, you can go ahead and you can click into the heart. And what that does is that favorites that image, okay? And when you are going into your folders up here, so you'll see within images under folders, you're going to see that you have a favorites folder within there. Every single user has a favorites folder. It comes within your account already built in. And the way that it works is that every time you click that heart, it immediately adds that image into your favorites folder, okay? And this is important because if you are going to be editing posts down the road, this is going to make it so much easier for you because all you have to do is click directly into your favorites folder and you have all of the images you have already pre-approved. They're good to go, whether it's the look of them that you like, whether it's the location, whatever it is about them, you've already favorited them and you can very easily access them through there, okay? This is also very important because I'm going to show you at the very end how you can tell the AI to choose from a specific folder when you are generating your posts. So when we went through that generation process, there was the advanced settings on the bottom right-hand corner. You can actually tell the AI, I want you to only choose from my favorites folder, or I want you to only choose from my nature folder or my kitchen folder. Whatever folder it is, you can create as many folders as you'd like through this button. Whatever folder it is, you can actually tell the AI to only choose from that folder. And when you are in the images here, there are a ton of images, okay? You can search them, you can filter them. There's a ton in there. But I promise you, even to get through the 16 to 18,000 photos that we have, it's going to take you 30 minutes, 45 minutes tops to get through all of these. I promise you, I've done it a million times before. You're just going to scroll down and you're going to find, okay, if you are in rural Colorado, Obviously, the Toronto carousel packs are not for you. So you just quickly scroll through them, next, and you find what is relevant to you. And as soon as you find what is relevant to you, you're like, oh, cool. Okay, I'm a mortgage broker. These are all ones that I would use. You just quickly like. If you set aside 30 to 45 minutes to do this once, you're going to beef up your favorite folder and you are never going to have to go through this image library ever again. I would do it maybe once every 2-3 months just to see what's new, but otherwise you are good to go. So that is my biggest piece of feedback here is just take some time, go through, like the images that you like. It's going to immediately add them to your favorites folder. You could even go through and see, we've got the holiday images here. Maybe you create a holiday folder and you go through and you just move these guys all into a holiday folder. And then once the holidays come around, you know, you are only telling the AI generate just through these because I want my whole page to be just holiday overload. Makes it super, super easy. The next thing you can do within here is, let's say that you have a very specific image that you want to use as a background image, or you just want to use it in your designs. You can also click into upload images. And what that's going to allow you to do is that's going to allow you to upload any image you have saved to your device to use in your design. So whether you want to use it as a sticker that you add on top, or whether you want to use it as a background, as long as you have it saved, you can go ahead, you can upload that image and you can have it saved here within the editor that you can easily access whenever you'd like, okay? So through there, you just select your images, it's going to upload those images, and you're going to find that underneath folders, right in my uploads, that's where all of your uploads are going to land, okay? So you can very easily access any of your uploads just right through here in uploads. When you click upload images, you are also going to see a button that says import from Canva. So if you have integrated with Canva through that integration process that you did with Nick, okay, you can also bring in your Canva designs. So the way that the Canva designs work is that your Canva design needs to be completed, okay? So each individual element that you play around with on Canva is not going to be movable within our editor. They're two different editors. But if you have designs like this one, for an example, which maybe I'll just add it as a sticker to show you guys, you can very easily bring this in and use it as a background. If you know, I'm not going to move this butterfly, I'm not going to move these lines, this is all exactly where I want it to be, you can bring it in here, keep it saved within the editor, and use it as a background in the future. Makes it super, super easy. So that way, as you're kind of playing with your designs, you can very easily choose your Canva designs and add them in as backgrounds. Or if your Canva design is ready to go, you just simply plug it right in here and then add on to it if you want. So another example is, you know, something like this. You could use this as a background, client love, and then add a little testimonial to it for an example. So it makes it really easy to bring in your images directly from Canva. You don't have to download them to your device, re-upload them. It'll take them directly from Canva. So with images, I think that's the gist of it. The next thing you can do is your shapes. So if you click into shapes on the left side, you're going to see a bunch of different shapes that you can choose from. So, you know, everything from arrows and circles and rectangles, and there's stars too, which I really like. You can go ahead, you can click into them, and then you can choose any one of these shapes that you'd like. When you click into it, it's going to add it directly to your design. You can change the color, you can change the transparency, you can stretch it to make it bigger or smaller, rotate it, whatever you'd like. This really lets you get really creative with your design. So if, you know, designing on another platform, if you're using Canva, or if you're using another design platform and you're comfortable with shapes and really getting creative, you can now do that with the new shapes, okay? One thing to keep in mind, so you can also control your layers. So as you can see here on the top, we've got layers, brightness, color palettes, all this good stuff. So layers, if you are someone who is going to be using shapes or adding stickers or adding your images, stuff like that, layers are going to be really great, because let's say you want to bring that shape behind your headshot, for an example, you can very easily take the individual layers and move them around. So that way they're exactly where you want them to be on your design. So keep that in mind. You do have your layers up here. your text. So this is always going to have your title and your subtitle that's already created by AI. So you're going to see that here. You're also going to see the option to add additional text. So if you click into add additional text, it's going to give you a little text box. You can add whatever you want to that, get creative with it, change the font, the size, the color, all that good stuff. So you can really get creative by adding additional text. And then finally, your branding. So you guys would have set this up during your onboarding. Let me click into a slide that has mine on. You guys would have set this up during your onboarding. As you guys know, these fields here are simply suggestion fields. The templates are created in a way that we've intentionally kind of put different things or different pieces of contact within the post. But let's say you're like, I don't want to include my brokerage, but I do need to include my DRE number. You can very easily add that under the brokerage area or in the website, wherever you would like. You can add it on to the end, or you can completely replace the brokerage and add it there. You can add whatever you want as text fields here. You don't have to follow it necessarily to a T. The one thing I would keep in mind is that the name is always going to be really upfront and center. So whatever you have in this first field, you should probably make it something that you actually care about. So just keep that in mind. You also don't have to have all these on. Let's say you don't want to have your phone number on there. You don't want to have your website on there. You just simply toggle it off. That's okay too. You're also going to notice that as you go through those suggested templates, you're going to notice that some of them have contact information on every slide. Some of them have it on the first slide and the last slide. Some of it have it on just the first or just the last. You can very easily add your contact information. You just click here, toggle it on, add it to every slide if you would like to. Just know that we very intentionally created the template so that some have it on all slides, some don't. It's not a mistake. It was intentional. Mostly because we want to give you guys as much variety as possible. You want to be putting out posts with variety. If you've ever been on advanced training with me, you know that I'm like very, very gung-ho about put out variety. And I'm also just very, very gung-ho about being intentional with your contact information, okay? So if you want, you can have your contact information on everything. Yes, totally up to you. They are your socials. But in my opinion, I do think you can very easily sprinkle it in within your post without having it up front and center on every single post that goes out. So a lot of the time we think that we need to have our headshot like blown up on every single post, but you need to think about the average viewer, okay? Those people aren't finding you on Instagram, clicking into it, seeing, 57 photos of you blown up and being like, yeah, I want to follow this person. You got to sprinkle that in really intentionally, okay? You don't want it to look too much. And you know that if this person has landed on your socials, trust me, they're going to find your contact information. It's going to be in your caption. It's going to be in your bio. It's going to be in your posts. You don't necessarily need to have it on every single slide, on every single post that goes out. You can put it in really intentionally and nicely, okay? Another thing is down here where you guys set up your headshots when you set up your profile with Nick, you can actually add multiple headshots in here or multiple logos within here, okay? So let's say, you have a couple different logos. You can very easily select which one you want. Same as your headshot. I recommend maybe having 2 or 3, maybe having one of you facing this way, another one of you facing that way. And then that way you kind of flip through the different headshots that you want, kind of introduce some more variety to it. Same as your logos too. So if you do have more versions of your logo, sprinkle in different versions so that it's not always the same one over and over and over again. Make sure the logo that you have uploaded to is easy to see. So for an example, this one right here with the black text and the red, RealEstateContent.ai, that's my logo. Probably it's a little dark. I don't really love that. This is a little bit better. I like this. It's white. It's big. It's going to look good on a variety of different posts. Again, entirely up to you how often you want to add that, whether you want to add it to every post or not, entirely up to you. Some other things to keep in mind before we head out of here is, again, up here, you've got your layers, you've got your brightness. You can control the brightness of your slides just to make it a little bit easier to see. You've got your color palette. So if you want to access another color palette just quickly, you can very easily do that through here. You can undo and redo. Now, probably one of the most important things within the editor is right up here, this little paperclip right here, okay? So it's a little icon. I call it a paperclip, infinity symbol, paperclip, link, something like that. So you're going to see that on the top left-hand corner. This is often overlooked, but it is honestly probably the most helpful tool within the editor, okay? So think of this little paperclip as your like master link, okay? So see how you can see the paperclip like this. When I click into it, it's off. The little X turns it off. So when this paperclip is on, so when you can fully see that paperclip, that is basically telling your design that slide number 1, whatever slide you are working on, is your master slide. So what you do to that slide, you want to see that action reflected on all future slides, like subsequent slides. So for an example, this subtext, let's say I want to move it up because my paperclip is on. Notice how it moved up on every single slide after. That paperclip is basically telling it, okay, I want you to take whatever I'm doing right now and I want you to move that along to all the slides. Of course, you need to make sure that the element is there. So if I'm moving my headshot, for an example, my headshot isn't anywhere else. It's just going to move the headshot in whatever slides have the headshot. But that is a really great way. If you are really intentionally, you're like, ooh, I want to move, the header all the way to the left and the subtext all the way to the right for whatever reason, you make those changes. It's now doing it on all the slides. So you don't have to do it one by one by one, okay? Now, let's say you want to work on each slide individually. Just make sure that paperclip is turned off. And now it is treating each individual slide as its own. So let's say I move this all the way down here and I move this in the middle. You can see that those changes have been made just to that slide, but not to the others. So that paperclip is really, really helpful. If you are like a master designer, you're really getting in there. That's really going to help you save a ton of time. You don't have to go slide by slide if you don't want to. You can use that link and it basically tells the platform, hey, what I'm working on right now, I want you to apply these changes across, okay? When you are happy with your design, now you have a couple options. The first is if this is a design you want to use in the future, you're like, yes, I put time into this. I like where all the text is landing. I like the fonts. I like the colors. This is something I want to use again in the future. Maybe I just want to quickly access it and swap out the background the next time I generate. You're going to go ahead, you're going to click Save as Template, and you're going to save it as a new template, okay? And what that does is that brings that design that you just worked on under templates. You're going to see your saved templates. And within there, you're going to see all the templates that you have saved. Okay. So this makes it really easy. If you are working on a design, you're like, oh my God, I want to come back to this. This is so good. You can go ahead, you can click save, and it's going to add here into your saved templates. And then in the future, when you're editing another post, you can very easily go into the templates you've already played around with, click into it. Fantastic. Maybe you swap out the color, maybe you swap out the background, and you're good to go. So this is a great place to kind of save all of your favorite designs. When you're happy with this specific post, you're just going to click save and exit. Save and exit. It's going to save your changes. And then you're going to see, I'll give this a little refresh. You're going to see those changes reflected within that post, which I don't know why it's giving me a hard time right now. It might just be because I was on it for a little too long, but you'll see those changes reflected in that post. And then you can go ahead and take a look at the rest of your options, okay? So next thing we're gonna do is let's click here into LinkedIn. Let's say we have made all of those changes. We're happy with the design. We're like, fantastic, we want this to go out. Now you have a couple different options. So if you're happy with it, you're good with the caption, you're good with the design, you're good with the time and the date up here, go ahead, click schedule and approve. That's going to swap it to green, just like we did in the beginning. And you'll be set to go for that date and time. But let's say you want to make some additional changes before you schedule this to go, okay? So you're going to see as you kind of scroll through your options on the right side, you're not going to see syndicate posts. So ignore that. The reason why you see that on mine is because mine's part of a team plan. It's also a testing account. So most of you are not going to see that unless you're part of a team plan. You are going to see this convert to video button, okay? Convert video. This is super cool because what this is going to do is this allows you to take any carousel style post. So any post that has multiple slides, and it allows you to turn it into a slideshow video. So this can be AI generated post like this. This can be a listing post. This can be a market report post. This can be any post you have with multiple slides. You can turn it into a video. So in addition to those aesthetic style B-roll videos / reels that we went through, you can also introduce video like this. So you click into convert video, it's going to take those slides and it's going to allow you to choose your slide pause time. It's going to allow you to choose your transition type. So fade, circle, open, slide left, whatever you want the transition to be. It's going to allow you to choose some music to add to it. And then you can click convert to video. And when you click convert to video, it's going to look a little bit something like this. So I'm just going to turn the volume off just so it's not loud for you guys. You hit play. And as you can see now, instead of having the swipe through carousel post, it's turned my carousel into a video. So now I'm introducing some video content. It's not the aesthetic reels. It's a different kind of video, but it's not like I had to go through and create this whole presentation, or I didn't have to, take a video myself or all that good stuff. I didn't have to, hire a videographer. I'm now posting video content just by converting one of my carousels into a video slideshow. So that's a great option for any type of carousel that you have. The next is you can actually click to generate an AI image. So you'll see generate AI image. So let's say this has been generated and you're like, fantastic, I love the caption. You know what? I actually have a image in my head for what I feel would be the best background image here. And I don't really want to go into the editor. I know exactly what I want to be that background image. You're going to click into generate AI image. And what this does is this allows you to completely bypass the editor and to just tell the AI, generate me an AI image that I'm going to use in the background. Okay. What this is going to do is AI is giving you a little description here. A young woman sits on a park bench with a picturesque garden in the background, jotting notes into a small leather-bound notebook, her expression concentrated as a bright orange autumn leaf falls gently onto the page. So it's taking that caption that you had created. AI is giving it a description, and then it is saying, okay, yeah, we can generate an image about this. Now, my biggest suggestion for this, okay, AI aims to please. This is something that we are currently, if you've been on our call last week or the week before, we are currently working on overhauling all of the prompts. So they're all going to get much, much better. AI aims to please. So this description, AI is like, how am I going to please this person the most? Like, what is the most intense description I can give it? What I can tell you is my biggest piece of feedback here is to take what AI has given you and delete it. Okay. This is too much. We don't want, a young woman on a park bench with a picturesque garden background and a small leather-bound notebook, blah, 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 blah. Like, no. I know exactly what I want in my head. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to remove this and I'm just going to give it a simple description. Okay. So simple description, maybe it's a beautiful cottage on a serene lake, a sunset, the Austin skyline at sunset. Then you are going to choose whether you want to include people in your AI generated image or not. My other piece of feedback here is to say no. I like the posts that don't include people. I do think that because AI aims to please, sometimes it can get a little overkill with people. It's like, you tell it, I want people. And it's like, okay, you want people? Let me give you 12 people. So I usually like to toggle this off. I like my post to be very clean. I like it to be just like a gorgeous modern kitchen or a beautiful cottage, dock, whatever. So what I did here was I have an example of this on the 24th. So I simply told it here, I want the Austin skyline at sunset. And this is what it did for me. It gave me the Austin skyline. Like, this is bang on. I'm in Austin right now. This is the Austin skyline at sunset to a T. There's not too many people. It's not too complicated. It literally looks like a photo that I found online. But this is a great way for you to choose a background image. But if you're like, you know what, I don't want to go into the editor right now. I already have an image in mind. You're not having to go online and find, a stock photo or take your own photos or anything like that. You just simply tell it exactly what image you want to see. It's going to generate it. It's going to plug it into the background for you and you're good to go. Okay. So that's another option you have for images. The next is a video script. So you guys are going to see this button here, generate video script. And what that does is that's going to take that caption that it's generated, and it's going to give you a video script to follow. Now, this is important for those who are already taking videos. So if you are already taking your own videos and you're comfortable taking your own videos, this is the perfect way to sprinkle in some of your own videos. You're not going to be able to record the videos through this platform. But if you're already doing it on your phone or on your webcam or whatever, if you're already creating video scripts elsewhere, why not take this caption right here, click generate video script. It's going to give you a script that you can follow. You just record on your phone the way that you normally would. And now you've got this nice caption. And what you can do here is, instead of using the post that was generated for you, so instead of that, maybe it's a carousel or a reel or whatever, you're like, I want to plug in my own videos. You can go ahead, you can click these three dots here, you can go upload media, and you can upload any piece of content that you would like, whether that be a photo, a video, whatever you'd like. You can go ahead and upload it directly into here. It's going to completely replace that generated design with your video or with your photo. So I'm going to show you guys an example of that just right in here. So I did the same thing here. I kept that caption that it generated. And then what I did was I just uploaded a photo of myself, swap it in there. It can be a video, it can be a photo, it can be whatever. This makes it so that you can really take advantage of that nice, optimized caption, but you're plugging in your own photo, your own video. So you can totally do that. And then the next is uploading your own. So I know that there are always some rock stars on the calls who are already comfortable with creating and scheduling their own content. So if you are looking to, maybe sprinkle in some of your own posts within the generated posts, you can totally do that. You can use this as a scheduler, okay? So super easy. You're going to pick the day that you want to create your post for. You're just going to go ahead, you're going to click more options, and you're going to click upload your own content. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you a completely blank post that you can start from scratch, okay? So there's no caption, there's no image, there's none of that. It always defaults to Instagram, but you can very easily select which platforms you want it to go on, okay? By just clicking that platform on the top left-hand corner. And then you can go ahead and write your caption. Let's say you have a perfect caption. You're like, had a great time at the Inman Austin conference. So if you have a perfect caption, just go ahead, type it right in there, and then you can go ahead and add your media. But let's say you're like, you know what? I actually don't know. This is all I got in me. I don't know what else to say. You can type as much or as little as you'd like. Go ahead, click enhance your caption. And what that's going to do is that's going to take what you've written in that caption, and it's going to just zhuzh it up a little bit for you for AI. So or for social media. So you can see, just got back from an amazing time at the Inman Austin conference. Here's what I picked up that'll help you navigate the real estate world. New trends, tech tips, networking with the pros, all this good stuff. Great. If you like that, keep it. If you want to make any manual changes, you just click the edit caption button, make changes. Or you can also regenerate this caption the same way we did with the other post. You can go ahead and regenerate it. You can say, make it shorter, make it more personal, less personal. I'm going to say, make this 5 sentences or less, regenerate. And now it's given me a new caption. Just got back from the Inman Austin conference, learned about real estate trends, cool tech tools for home buying, and got tips from the pros. Now I can help you more when buying or selling your home. Have any questions? Let me know. Cool. I'm happy with that caption. We're going to keep that. Now I need an image. Now you have a couple different options. So through here, you can go ahead and you can click into upload your own media. So again, go ahead, upload your own photo, upload your own video, whatever media you would like. Maybe it's a photo of you and the team at the conference, or you and a client getting a coffee, entirely up to you. Or if you're like, I don't have an image to use, you can actually click into edit design and you can access that same editor that we were working within. So you can go ahead, you can access that same editor. And now we've got this nice post from scratch. You can go into the image library. You can choose one of those as the background. You can create a collage. You can put a little quote on there. Maybe you're posting something that's like Happy Valentine's Day. You can literally take this title and just put Happy Valentine's Day from whatever team. You can put your headshot on there or don't. Like you can really get creative with it and just click save and exit. And that way you're using the editor to create your own posts as well. So you can totally do that. Again, if you're like, you know what, I'd rather just generate an AI image, you've got that option here. You click generate AI image, you tell it exactly what you want. It's going to generate you a standalone AI image that you can post with your caption. So I think I have an example of just one of my own posts. Yeah, something like this. This is an example of something you could post. See, it's a nice team photo at an event with a nice caption. You can go ahead, you can select the platforms, date and the time, schedule and approve. And now you've got that post going out to your Facebook, your Instagram, and your LinkedIn without having to do it manually. So you can also use the content calendar to schedule your own posts, which is really great. You can also use it to bring in your own Canva design. So the same way that you imported an image or a design from Canva in the editor, you can also do that when you click into more options. You can click design with Canva, bring your design directly in there. So we've got that nice design and now schedule it to go out to whichever platforms you want it to go out to. Couple additional things before we head into the advanced settings are you can duplicate. So you can go ahead, duplicate any post that you would like. So let's say you want to repost this at a future date. This is a great option for listing posts. So as you can see, I have a listing post here. Click duplicate. That's going to duplicate that post entirely. The platform, the caption, the absolutely everything. You're going to get an entire duplicate of it. And then from there, you can make changes. So let's say you want to repurpose this and turn it into an open house post. You just edit the design, add open house, add your open house details to the caption, and you're good to go. Maybe you duplicate that post for every Friday for the next 7 weeks until that house is off the market. Perfect. Or again, with the convert to video, like I mentioned, you can convert any video, any carousel to a video. So I went ahead, I did that with this listing post. And now when you hit play, now we're featuring this open house, but in a new way. It's not just the swipe through style. Now I've got it in a little video. So that's another great way to introduce variety. You can drag and drop. So as you are playing around, if your post is in an unscheduled status or an expired status, so as long as it hasn't been locked in and scheduled, or as long as it hasn't been posted, just go ahead, pull your posts around. You can drag and drop them wherever you would like. And then the final thing we're going to cover is just advanced settings. So again, when we were going through the generation flow, we had mentioned how we were going to come back into advanced settings. So when you are generating your posts, on the right-hand side, when you come down to advanced settings, okay, you open these up, you're going to see some options down here, okay? So I'm going to scroll down. Your first is the save templates, okay? So within here, you're going to get to choose whether or not you want to toggle on your save templates or not. Now, keeping in mind, remember when we were editing that post and we saved that template, if you only have one or two of your own saved templates within your template library, it is only going to choose from those two, okay? So I highly recommend to keep this toggled off. If you want variety, if you want it to go through that entire list of templates that are already within the editor and apply your colors and all that good stuff, keep that toggled off. You're going to get the most variety, okay? If you have saved templates and you have really beefed up your saved templates library, go ahead and toggle that on. You're still going to have variety. It's only going to be choosing from the templates that you specifically have created. Or if you are a person who doesn't care about the variety side of things, maybe you're like, I actually do want these same two templates or this one same template to always go out, then you can go ahead and toggle that on, okay? So just always keep that in mind that when you toggle that on, it's going to use specifically your saved template. So you want to make sure that you've got a lot in there if you want variety, or if you don't want variety and you're cool with it pulling from what you have, just keep that in mind whether you're toggling those on or keeping them toggled off to let the AI choose a template. The next is your background source. So you're going to see down here that you can choose where it's pulling backgrounds from. So this is really important. All of them are going to default to all, but like we mentioned when we went through favoriting images, you can actually tell the AI, hey, I want you to choose from my favorites folder specifically. So it's only ever choosing from there. Or I want you to choose from my Canva templates that I've brought into the editor, or the kitchens, or the nature, or whatever it may be. You're telling it before you go in to generate I want you to only choose from this folder. So this is going to make editing so much quicker and easier for you if you just tell it which folder. And once you set these settings up, they're saved. They're good to go. You don't have to do this every single time you go into Generate, okay? Your colors, your contact info, your headshot, your logo, all that stuff you went through with Nick. So if you have that toggled on, it's going to show up on your generated posts. Your footer, same thing. Your footer is a tiny little piece of text that is going to show up at the end of your generated captions. It looks like a part of the caption. It just seamlessly flows right in it, but it is the perfect place to add a specific call to action if you have one, like I do here, or your contact information. If you want to include your contact information again in your caption, maybe you have a DRE number, you can just add it to your footer and you're good to go. So I definitely recommend adding a footer. That's a great way to sprinkle in your contact information without having it, front and center on every single design. Your hashtags as well. If you have hashtags that you want to include on your generated posts at the bottom of your caption, you can very easily add your hashtags through here. Click save. They're going to add to the bottom, and then emojis and your default posting time and all that good stuff. Okay. So that's setting up advanced settings. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to just pop into the chat because we've got about a little over 10 minutes where we can go through any questions. I'm going to stop sharing just so I can find you guys a little bit easier. Okay. Are we going to get a copy? Okay, we did that. It seems like the reels are limited and not specific to what I want. Is there a way to add more? So Shakita, right now, I think we're definitely over 100. I think we're at like 150-ish. We are adding new reels every month. So now we're kind of in a better flow. It took us a little while to find a reliable way to get reels in there, but now we kind of have a system for it. So you will see more of them being added. That being said, if there's anything specific you want to see, make sure you shoot us an email to support@RealEstateContent.ai. Okay. So we keep track of literally every suggestion, every piece of feedback you guys give us. So if there's a specific set of images you want to see, or reels, or different kinds of audio, just shoot us an email. We keep track of all that. And then the next time we do a reel drop, we'll definitely make sure that we're adding all that good stuff for you. Can you add text in a different language to the caption? So Ed, the only way to do it right now is if you actually type it in yourself. So if you're trying to add an additional language, like a different language, just go ahead, click edit caption. You can add whatever you want through there. Can a field be added for my link tree in the persona and brand section? Where I would add your link tree, where I would do that actually, Shakita, I would do that in the footer, not in the persona and brand. Well, actually, it would be in the brand part of persona. Go into the footer. You can add your URL in there in the footer. Keep in mind that with Instagram captions, once they are posted onto the platform, they don't allow for any clickable links. So you're going to see that link tree work the way that you want it to on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. You're just not going to see it work on Instagram just because that's the way Instagram is. They want to keep you on their platform. Can it automatically add proper website URL link sources in the caption? No, Max. So we don't have that right now. If you're talking about like a source for the post, I would maybe stay away from that just because it's going to look a little heavy when it posts. If you're talking about adding your own website, same response to Shakita's question about you can add your website URL to the footer. It will work when it's posted to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter/X. It just won't work on Instagram. But if it's like the source of what created the caption, it might just get a little heavy because some of ours, especially with the new update, some of the posts are going to take in like 10 to 20 different sources. So it might get a little heavy. Yeah, what's up?
But in the case of your open house, it's one web page basically. So could this system generate that?
Yes, actually, that is a great thing to do. If you are generating an open house post and then you want it to link to maybe that listing on your website, go to edit caption, put that link in there. Okay.
I know that. I know that. I can do everything manually. The question is, can you do it automatically?
Not right now. No. No, not right now. But that's definitely something we can add to our roadmap for sure. I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. So I'll definitely make a note of that. So it's like, yeah, if you have your caption and you're like, I want this to link back to the
Or in the
listing.
posts you generated at first for the first time buyer neighborhoods. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna give you neighborhoods in Austin. I'm sure
Yeah.
they have their own, you, on the website, you have first time buyer neighborhoods
Yeah.
and the system links them.
Yeah, yeah. You would also you want it to go to a link though. It needs to be a link that you approve. It can't be a link that it used to create the post.
No, no, yes, but in GPT, I just ask it to verify the link.
Yeah, yeah.
So if I
But
can do
but
it
the
in
thing
GPT,
is, so you actually this is good if you are bringing them to your own website. This is
yes,
not good if you are sending them to another website.
no, to my website for
Yeah, yeah.
traffic.
Yeah, exactly. So I've made a list here. I like that a lot. Like being able to just be like, okay, I want you to add this URL into that totally makes sense. If it was sending them to another website, I'd say don't do that. But sending them to your website, yes, 100%
Yes.
agree with that. Totally. Can you duplicate a slide? Ooh, Randy, you can't duplicate a slide. I love that though. Okay, duplicate slide. I'm going to add that to our list. That is a great suggestion. Um, how do we change the background photo of each slide? So Mandy, you're just going to click into the slide you want to change the background for and then set background, set background. Can you search by geo area for images? Randy, so you can search. So I believe you're in California, right? You can type in California. The search is a work in progress. Okay. So right now we have like an AI that's in the background looking at the images and tagging it. So like week by week, it'll get better and better. However, I will recognize it's not the greatest. It could definitely be better. And no, it won't do like a specific county. Not quite yet. Let me look into that. I don't know if we're able to do that, but let me try. I'll look into it. So counties for images. Um, yeah, but the image search, so you can do like California, you can do sunny, you can do beach, stuff like that. It's decent. It's getting better every week. I would say personally, I think it's better to go through the images because I find that the search, because it's still kind of working away, it's way faster for you to just give it a quick once over. It's going to be really good within the next couple months, but if there's something very specific you're looking for, just give it a quick once over, favorite them. Especially Cali. I know that we have like a ton of really great images. Um, please show how to upload a video and add the captions to it. Okay, I think it was Ed's question about how to upload a video and captions to it. So we did go through that um in the call. Can you change the size of the company logo? Ray, so you can do it on an individual post, like you can uh expand it. If you are having trouble, if yours is coming in really, really small, shoot us an email because it might be something that we can just kind of manipulate with the way that we upload it. Maybe we just have to kind of zoom in and then save it. And then it'll end up being larger on your generated posts. Until then, if it's just like one or two posts you want to change the logo of, just go in. You can actually pull it apart, make it as big or as small as you want. If you're finding that it's too small for you upon generation, shoot us an email. We'll play around with your logo. Make sure you just include your logo in the email that you send us, like the file of it, and then we'll play around with it, see if we can kind of make it bigger. Can you copy and edit previously posted? Randy, so if you want to repurpose a previously posted post, duplicate that post and just bring it into the future. And now it's created you like a brand new post. You can start from scratch. You can kind of like manipulate it. Let's say you did like an open house post, 3 weeks ago, and you're like, oh shoot, I want that exact post. I don't want to start from scratch. Just find it, duplicate it, pull it into the future, and you're good to go. Can I ask the system to translate the caption to a different language? Ed, give that a try because I am very curious to see how that works. I feel like it's probably a hit or miss depending on how the AI is feeling that day. Like it might crush it and it might be amazing, or it might be like, wait, what? What's going on? So let me know. Give it a try and let me know. Awesome. What county? And then I really struggle doing AI backgrounds, especially with a local flair. It's not remotely being able to mimic or find major landmarks and insert them. Andy, are you generating the AI backgrounds or are you looking through the library?
Well, I'm starting to try to generate them because I can't really find stuff in the library.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but even when I do major things like the Broncos here just had a big run into the playoffs, and I'm trying to use like Empower Field and
Yeah,
stuff, and it shows me like a house in front of the Buffalo Bills stadium,
right.
like
I don't,
just
yeah.
really random stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be able to find that like specific. Um, but okay, so two things. One, Andy, shoot us an email. I'm going to give you our email right here, support at realestatecontent.ai. Shoot me a list of the images you want to see. Okay. So I'm looking for more of this, more of that. We'll make sure that when we go in and generate images, which we do like once every 3-ish weeks at this point, we'll make sure to generate a ton of images for you that will be in the library. It's not going to be right now. I know exactly if you're looking for like a specific stadium within the library, we haven't gotten to that point. It'll be more like exteriors, interiors, that kind of thing. Um,
Okay.
so in that case, yeah, just shoot us an email. We'll make sure to get it in there. And then if you are generating the AI image, do what I did with the like Austin skyline, just very like to the point.
Okay.
Don't use the fluffy AI generated description because it's just going to be too messy or too busy. If you're looking for like a specific stadium, just literally this stadium in this location generate and toggle people off.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, Andy. Let me know if you have any questions at all. Okay. I left the email in there. And for anyone on this call too, we literally add those images and reels based off of what you guys tell us. So if you're finding, hey, I'd like to see more of this, more of that. I mean, we had one of our users reach out to us and she's like, hey, my niche is veterans and I see nothing about that in the library. And we were like, oh shoot, okay, got it. So we generated a bunch of those. Then we had another user reach out. She might be on this call actually. Um, and she was like, listen, my niche is retirees and you guys have retirees, but she's like, I'm looking for younger retirees, like, in their like early 50s, and you guys don't have much of that. So we were like, oh, okay, good to know. So we went ahead and generated. So anything that you guys are kind of like, hey, it would be really awesome if we could see more of this. Don't be shy. Honestly, we are quite literally building this platform based off of what you guys need. So please don't be shy. Reach out to us anytime. Um, yeah, I think that is it. If there's no more questions, I really, really appreciate you guys. You were very, very engaged and super active in the chat. So I appreciate that so much. Okay, amazing, you guys. I'm gonna make sure to get this recording off to you. Give me like an hour or two. Vicky, yeah, same thing. Shoot us an email. I'm gonna make sure to get this recording off to you guys in the next hour or two. I really, really appreciate you taking the time, spending your Friday with me. I know Fridays are very precious. I appreciate all your great questions and suggestions. Make sure you keep them coming. And if you're free again next Friday, same time, same place, I'm going to be here again. In the meantime, literally, you guys, if you ever have any questions, shoot us off an email. Don't be shy. We are more than happy to help. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. Bye, guys. Bye, Ray and Jamar, Randy, Vicky, Max. Thank you, guys.